Part 11 of my broadcast of the Dawntrail. This will probably either be the last or second last part of the story. I'll just make sure that this is broadcasting. Yep, there we go. Part 11 is up and running. Right. Without further ado, let's get started. Honestly, I'm really loving the music here. This aetheryte is of Terali design. It's fallen into total disrepair, almost as if it hasn't been used in decades. Amidst enormous alien structures, we have more familiar sights like this station. This is a water tower for trains, isn't it? Hello, look them out. I think this thing is broken. The tracks are heavily rusted. It would seem they haven't been tended to for a long while. You find a train turntable. The thick layers of rust suggest it hasn't been used in years. The building is a rotten husk. It has clearly been many years since anyone lived here. Finished poking around, have you? Let's gather everyone then. I want you all to take a look at this. It's one of the mechanical soldiers, long since broken apparently. But I'd say its presence confirms that this is indeed Zaral Jaz's domain we're in. What about the rest of you? Did you learn anything? So, all evidence suggests this is Yasolini Station. Aye, and I've no doubt we're in Yasolini, but I don't understand why these buildings are so run down. They were completed barely a year ago. Maybe a few years have passed since then. For new structures to deteriorate and enormous ones to appear in a flash. If I didn't know better, I'd say time flows differently here. My thoughts exactly. Is such a thing even possible? We have encountered this phenomenon before, as it so happens. Though it may be difficult to believe, our world is but one of several. In some respects they are similar to one another, but in others wholly different. We call them reflections. Simply put, the rift between dimensions causes time to flow at a different pace in each world. While hours pass in one, years may have come and gone in another. But if this is Yasolini, then we should still be in the source. The flow of time should be synchronized. I'm not sure I followed all this talk of reflections and dimensions. But if Erenville says this is Yasaluni, then it must be. Your village is a little further along, right? Erenville! Oh, yes, it's a short distance to the northwest. Let's head there next then. Rather than talk theory, it's always better to confirm things firsthand. Bzz, may I be of assistance? It's still functioning? It doesn't seem to be hostile, at least. Perhaps we can ask it some questions. Can you tell us where we are? Unable to confirm credentials. Bzz. Please present citizen identification. Unable to confirm credentials. Bzz. Confirm. Bzz. Confirm. Bzz. Seems it's broken after all. Too strange by half. Let's leave it and get going. Are those lightning rods? Would you accompany me for a moment? There's something I wish to investigate. Look there. The lightning appears to be drawn to those pole-shaped structures over yonder. The design suggests there's some manner of lightning rod. Let's go and take a closer look. This material appears to be the same as that used in the mechanical soldiers and warships. On closer inspection, it appears to bear fine etchings, rather reminiscent of arcane runes. These, I suspect they are not merely decorative. I would posit it's used to harness lightning as a source of energy. Quite impressive energy. I'll share this observation with Justola. For a blessing, the dome doesn't appear to interfere with link pearls. Thanks for accompanying me. Let's head to the village and find the others. No sign of anyone. This is Erenel's village? Let's stay vigilant. Oh, Erenvel. What in the world?
My home. It's in ruins. But why? What happened here? And where is everyone?
I had a look in a few of the other houses, but they had clearly been abandoned.
Damn it all! None of this makes sense.
Excuse me? Are you looking for someone? I apologize for giving you a fright. However, I did have reason to keep to the shadows. Sorolja has told me a great deal about you.
Sorolja?
Greetings, and welcome to the realm of Alexandria. I am Sphene, the Queen of Reason.
Queen of Reason?
If you are the Queen of Reason, is there perhaps a...
Yes, if you mean to ask if there is a King of Resolve. Sorolja holds that title, and together do we reign.
Then you are both behind the attack on Tuliyola.
And I doubt you're here to offer us a warm reception.
Don't jump to conclusions.
No, you have it all wrong. I am not come to fight. Sorolja rules alongside me, but that is a matter of expedience. In truth, we are at odds, he and I. It is at considerable risk to myself and my people that I come before you to beg your aid.
Our aid? I'll admit I cannot imagine King Sorolja is keen to share and share alike. But if what you say is true, you're still the Queen.
Indeed. But I was once the sole ruler of Alexandria. Until one day, he appeared, bent on conquest. In my weakness, I feared his power. So I persuaded him to forego violence and strike a bargain. I would remain queen, and he would receive technology that would empower him to achieve even loftier ambitions, along with the knowledge to use it. A gamble, to be sure, but if it might spare my people...
If I may, the dome surrounding these lands was erected but recently. How is it he was able to not only invade, but instate a new system of leadership in a mere matter of days?
I've never heard of your realm. And this place is, or at least was, Yasolani. The house I grew up in is still here. But 3 years ago, that tower and these strange contrivances weren't. Nor was our village in ruins. Where did you come from? And what happened to the people who lived here? You must know!
I realize how confusing this all must be. Truth be told, I don't fully understand it myself. What I can say is that one day, people from your Tuliolol suddenly appeared here in Alexandria. Or perhaps it was we who found ourselves in Tuliolol. Until but recently, we were completely unaware of events taking place beyond the barrier surrounding our realm.
Does this not remind you of the Crystal Tower? How after the 8th Umbral Calamity, we devised a means to transport the Spire across time and space from the source unto the first. Granted, this is on a much larger scale, if that is indeed what has happened. Not only the people and structures, but also the surrounding environment. Regardless, the people of Lakeland perceived the arrival of the Crystal Tower much as the Queen describes her own experience. Sudden and inexplicable.
Well then, you appear to have a better grasp of our circumstances than we do. Indeed, more than I dared hope. In which case, a closer examination of the effects of this phenomenon may afford us more insights. Allow me to take you to the outskirts. A number of the Shatona live there as well. Perhaps your acquaintances are among them.
Hold on. If we accept, there's no guarantee we're not walking into a trap.
But if we're to defeat Zorolja, we need to understand how he grew so strong. Besides...
You're right.
Queen Sphene, before we go, Your Majesty, I have to ask, did you really have nothing to do with the attack on Tuliolol?
Noble Wook Lamart, shall we dispense with the formalities? I'll not deny the soldiers and airships that attacked your people are products of Alexandria. But it was Zorolja, not we, who fashioned them into weapons of war and laid siege to Tuliolol.
So he alone is to blame.
No, I may not have prosecuted this war, but I nevertheless bear responsibility for it.
Perhaps. I know next to nothing about you, let alone what you've been through. So by all means, show us around. I think we'll learn a lot from meeting your people.
Wonderful! If you would follow me.
Isn't it a little odd for the Queen to be walking around on her lonesome?
Is that concern or suspicion? If things should take a turn for the worse, might I call upon your aid? I jest, of course, but you do strike me as the most capable here.
I'll go back there because there was a fate near there. I see you people stealing that fate. It's mine. I can't get there fast enough. Back we go. Mount up. Mount up. Go north. Quick. There's one up there. Go. I have to go up on that ledge over there. Need to be nimble, I need to be quick. Come on, get there. You just need to do this one fate. And then you don't have to do any more fates here for the time being. Ah, damn it, it's getting done. No! Don't destroy the fate before I get there. Ah, it's gonna be too late, isn't it? Damn it. Oh, fluff. I need to get that faster mount speed as soon as I can. Yeah, 5 out of 6, so just one more. I think it goes without saying, but we're not going to trust her just like that, right? Any way you look at it, a mysterious girl who appears out of nowhere proclaiming herself a queen is suspicious. Alizé is inclined to keep a close eye on the queen. Well, having established that we should be wary, we could use more information. So let's head to this place at the outskirts and see what we can learn. Perhaps about Svenny as well. A most unusual farm, but the produce appears normal enough. Have you ever seen such strange contraptions? I wonder what this one is used for. It's a relief to see the people here are well, at least. The innovations of Alexandria are nothing short of extraordinary. Those brick buildings, I've seen their like before, so I cannot remember where. I trust you have similar farming facilities in Tyrell. They're completely different from ours. I got no idea what those machines do. We settled on this approach after some trial and error. The Tyrelli have their own methods of farming, which they wanted to continue employing. But the environment makes it challenging. There's too much rain and not enough light. Thankfully, the use of electrope has allowed us to fortify the buildings here, as well as provide what nature cannot. Electro what? Electrope is a material we use for myriad devices and applications. Perhaps, if you'd follow me, we're nearly to the outskirts. It's a rather lively settlement, isn't it? Defiance of this ceaseless gloom almost. It's a relief to see the people here well. Hopefully the same can be said for everyone in Yasselani. It's fascinating how they've combined traditional bricklaying with electro-based engineering. A curious blend of two cultures. I'll admit, I've seen nothing particularly suspicious yet. This is Tontuan village, or at least it was, before the dome and these strange contraptions. I think I can fix what I did there. Right, so if I... apply that, and then back to page. There we go. Fuck. It's gonna be done before I get there.
Here we are. Though you'll doubtless find much of what you see in Alexandria strange, the traditional agriculture practiced in this village at least should be familiar.
Queen's Fiend? What business brings her here, I wonder?
The Queen has come!
You look well, Paquine. And Katonia, I see you've already taken to your new position.
When she introduced herself as queen, I was expecting someone colder. Honestly, she reminds me of you, Lamachi.
Me?
It's only natural for a ruler to love her people. And I should like to know them as best I can, even the most trifling details.
The more you come to know them, the more you grow to love them. Who they are and what they've built.
That's it. Beautifully put.
And it would appear that she is well loved in turn.
Your Majesty, you honor us with your presence. And who are these fine people?
Tuliolol's vow of resolve Wuk-Lamat and her companions. They come from beyond the barrier, but you needn't worry. They are good people and are to be treated as my honored guests.
The rumors of a link to the outside are true, then. Wuk-Lamat is still so young. Where are my manners? I am Popone, a leader of sorts of the people living out here.
Popone? That is a Tonawautan ring to it.
Right you are. I take it you hail from this region as well? Teshpiani, perhaps?
Yes, I do. I don't suppose you know a woman by the name of Kafkiwa?
Kafkiwa? I'm afraid I'm not sure if I've ever met someone with that name.
Oh. Mother isn't here. But it's a relief to know at least some of the people of Yasulani are alive and well.
Your mother, you say? Now that you mention it, I do see the resemblance.
You know my mother?
I do. Yes.
Then tell me, please, where is she?
I cannot say. Not here, but I promise I will in due time.
I have a question, Pepone. Do you recall what happened the day the dome first appeared?
The barrier? Well, I remember fixing a shelf that had collapsed after a terrible earthquake. Then the ground began to tremble. There was a brilliant flash of light, and then... Forgive me, my recollection of it all is rather poor.
You needn't push yourself, Popone. After 30 years, no one could blame you for not remembering.
30 years? As in 30 years in the past?
Absurd though it may sound, there is no doubt in my mind the events that led to the joining of our lands occurred 30 years ago. Which is not to say I understand why our perceptions of the intervening time are so radically different. We only just became aware of the discrepancy when Zoralja's military base was completed, and we were at last able to venture beyond the barrier.
I believed you long dead. To have the chance to kill you myself is an unforeseen blessing.
Years. Little wonder Zoralja assumed our father had already passed away.
It's not unlike how time passes differently in the First and the Source. The fluctuating space of the rift between them disrupting temporal equivalence. Perhaps the same holds true here, and time flowed faster within the dome.
Do you suppose time is still passing faster in here?
I was able to make contact with Y'shtola not long ago via link pearl, so that shouldn't be cause for concern. And based on the Queen's account, this encampment may have come to serve as a physical bridge between the two planes, after which the dome was forced into the Source's temporal flow.
If we're to be certain of anything, we need more information. Sphene, would it be all right if we had a look around and spoke with the townspeople?
By all means.
Time to see what we can see of Alexandria, then.
And its people. I may yet find familiar faces among the survivors from Yasolani.
Even if I don't understand the half of it, I would learn more of this place before we confront Zorolja.
Perhaps you'd care to see how we make our living. Though we have always prided ourselves on the use of traditional Tonawatan farming methods, the use of electro-fueled technologies has led to countless agricultural innovations.
I would join you as well.
Ma'am, please, you needn't trouble yourself.
It's no trouble at all, and I promise not to cause any manner of distraction.
Reassuring words, or they would be had I not heard them countless times before. Very well, but do be careful.
Of course. I shall proceed with the utmost care. Now then, if you two would follow me, we can begin the tour.
I can't say that I trust her yet, but I trust that her affection for these people is genuine, and that's enough for me.
First things first, attune to this. There is a fate there, it's almost done. There's another fate there, I can probably get to that one. I think you just go there, then head directly north. Now I can go back. There was a gemstone trader that I see. Ah, okay. Sorry, I must be busy. I must organize all these resources before they can be traded in Everkeep. Welcome to the outskirts. We don't have much to offer, but make yourself at home. Name's Wikilobi. I lived in Yasuri since that whole hullabaloo all those years ago. I make my way raising livestock. I hurt my back while carrying a bag of feed. These days I spend more time looking after myself than the animals. Well, as the name implies, the outskirts is just what we call the land outside of Everkeep. I suppose we just started calling it that after the dome appeared. It's home to folks who just want to live off the land, folks like me. Having said that, things sure have changed over the years. Now we got all kinds of new technology, for better or for worse. One of my friends was just assigned the role of hunter. Gosh, I wish it were me. If only I passed the exam. Touring farmlands with the queen of another nation is not how I expected to spend my day. Electrop has done much to improve the efficiency of their farming, but hasn't replaced everything. The people wanted to preserve their old way of life, and we did not want to force ours upon them. You went to such lengths that our cultures could coexist, even going so far as to learn our tongue. I'm sure everyone appreciated that. Communication was thankfully not an issue, for the Torelli tongue is surprisingly similar to Alexandrian. Of course, there are words and phrases for which there are no equivalent, but those can be taught with minimal effort. Through mutual respect, understanding and patience, we Alexandrians and Torelli have learned a great deal from one another. And I'm sure there is much you wish to learn as well, so please, if you have questions, do not hesitate to ask. Sven is eager to show you around. Rather than bore you with lengthy explanations, let us head back to the farm we passed earlier. Yuyupi's Halo, it's called. We can speak with one of the farmers when we arrive. I guess we're off to Yuyupi's Halo. Now I can do the thing with the gem trader. There we go. If you see any Occlups out there, be sure to let me know. You wouldn't believe the trouble they can cause. Thank you for accessing the forecast terminal, acquiring meteorological data. Damn, they know the weather conditions in every area. That's impressive. I don't recommend you go strolling outside. If the lightning doesn't get you, the beasts will. thankfully I now go faster, so... Oh, you have an interest in our farmland. I'll tell you anything you want to know. Oh, you want to know about me? There's not much to tell, but I'm Yuyu Pokiana. I've always had a fondness for growing things, and I've got quite good at cooking various types of produce. I can also tell how fresh vegetables just by looking at them. This is Yuyipa's halo, an important part of life here in the outskirts. I work alongside Shiloki, who runs this place, and we cultivate a variety of vegetables here. With the help of electro technology, we make the most of what the land has to offer, and support those who call this place home. They also grow produce inside Everkeep, but it's not the same as the plants originally from Terral. This farmland is mainly used for cultivating Terrali vegetables using traditional methods. What do you suppose they keep inside this building? Here we are. I'm sure they'll learn a great deal from the workers here. Allow me to introduce you to Mahausa, one of the most experienced farmhands in all of Alexandria. She's well versed in myriad farming techniques. Indeed, the wealth of knowledge she's shared with all the other farmers has allowed this place to flourish. Queen Svein, to what do I owe this sudden shower of praise? My apologies for the interruption. I am come with guests from beyond the barrier. They wish to learn more of Alexandria, so I invite them to see how our crops are growing. I do hope that's all right. So, the rumours of visitors from the outside were true. What manner of hosts would we be to deny them a look around? And I gather your majesty also intended to check on things here. You know me too well, Mahausa. I thought to seize this opportunity to see how the farmers fare, and perhaps pepper them with a few questions, though I do so enjoy observing and taking part in the work too. It would appear we have her permission, so please, walk the grounds to your heart's content. You go on ahead. I'll keep Svein company. Don't misunderstand. I'm not the suspicious type, but given our positions, it would make sense for us to go around together, wouldn't you say? A fair point, but be sure to not let me out of your sight. I shall remain under Wukulamat's watchful eye. Pray come find us after you've seen your fill and spoken with the other farmhands. My duties here are quite varied. Despite being merely a farmer, we all have to do our part if we're to prosper. Oh, you have an interest in our farmland. I'll tell you anything you want to know. Oh, you want to know about me? There's not much to tell, but I'm Yuyu Pokiana. I've always had a fondness for growing things, and I've gotten quite good at cooking various types of produce. I can also tell how fresh vegetables are just by looking at them. Here we go. They're saying that you and yours are visitors from beyond the barrier. That true? So it is. which means we're connected to the outside world again. Not that I have a desire to leave, mind you. I'm quite content with life here in Alexandria. But setting that aside, you're here to observe our work, right? As you can see, I'm in charge of livestock. Here at Yippie's Halo, we not only produce fruits and vegetables, but also meat, poultry and eggs. Tending the animals is an absolute joy, but I have to be careful not to grow attached. It's always a little sad when they're shipped off, but a job is a job. Well, I need to get back to it. It was nice talking to you. Please give my regards to the Queen. Perhaps later you could tell me more about what the world is like beyond the barrier. Oh, an unfamiliar face. I gather this is your first time on site then. Well, this here is the storehouse, or rather the entrance. The real storehouse is underground, much more spacious and equipped with a temperature regulation system to keep the harvest from spoiling. Since the entrance is so small, it's much easier to prevent wild beasts from wandering inside, which also makes it a viable facility for breeding and raising livestock. We've even got a few beds down there for emergencies. My parents often complain about how Alexandrian technology and electrics complicate our lives, but it's just a matter of learning how things work. Take my job for instance. I'm presently overseeing the storage of harvested crops. They'll be taken up to the tower for processing, and from there find their way to every dining table in Alexandria. The work is hard, I'll not deny, but I take great satisfaction in what we do. I actually live up there. It's only for work that I come down here to the outskirts. Light levels appear to be fine. As for the power source... You wish to know about my job? I tend to the fields mostly, watering the crops, keeping the soil fertile, and so on. It admittedly took some time until I fully understand how best to carry out my duties. I also manage the lamps we use in the fields. We do our best to keep everything up to code, but should they ever start to malfunction, it's up to me to fix them. The land and sky being what they are, ensuring a rich harvest makes for constant work, but honestly, I enjoy how involved the process is. Both my parents being Alexandrian, I didn't grow up knowing much about anything about farming. Every day is an opportunity to learn and grow. If you'd ever take an interest in farming, I'll be more than happy to teach you what I know. This is the apparatus used to deliver vegetables. As we can't leave them outside for too long, we use an automated system and send them through underground conduits. It's a shame Koana's not here to see all these bizarre contraptions. I see. Don't be too hard on yourself. Anyone would be hard-pressed to deal with such a thing. Oh, welcome back. My apologies for failing to notice your return. I gather you've had your fill of speaking with the farmers, then let us return to Malhasa. Well, what are your impressions of the farm? Electrop is quite impressive. So, it was the Electrop that caught your eye. That's only natural, I suppose, if you come from a place without it. Still, You only seem mildly impressed. This leads me to believe you have experience with more marvelous technology. I'd love to hear your tales someday. What do you think of our little tour, Lamity? What did you call me? Was that inappropriate? My apologies. I heard the others call you by that name and I thought... No, it's fine. As you said before, we've no need for titles and formalities. As for my thoughts, I was very impressed. That machines could be used to overcome so harsh an environment is amazing. I've never seen anything like it. The feeling is understandable indeed. Many still find the machinery behind me baffling. It's a system that controls the distribution of water for the fields and livestock. It's been acting up lately, though. Acting up, you say? You needn't worry, my queen. It happens fairly often. Put simply, it's taken in water that had a strong lightning charge. We think some creatures have become charged up with the energy, and they're releasing it into the river we use as a source. The system would return to normal if the creatures were dealt with, but I'm reluctant to beg it of the army. We could take care of it if you'd like. That is most gracious of you to offer, but it is much too dangerous. Oh, it's no trouble at all for the valor resolve of Tulioli. Regardless of how the relationship between our nations may develop, if there are people in need, I want to help. Simple as that. And Elita is even stronger than I am. It shouldn't take us long at all. Then very well, I gratefully accept, but please take care. This ought to go even faster if you and I search for lightning-charged fiends on our own. Good hunting. I do not doubt your strength, but please be careful. Sorry for dragging you into our troubles. If it seems too dangerous, don't hesitate to retreat. Wow, you really are strong. Ah, you're both alright, thank goodness. You really hadn't needn't have worried so much. We barely broke a sweat dealing with the fiends. They're all gone now. Of course I was worried. You're my dear guests. But thank you. We truly appreciate this. Indeed. With this, we won't have to ask Zawaljal's machines for help. He's been making a concerted effort to bolster his forces, sparing but a fraction for the people's protection. He thinks nothing of our safety, unlike Queen Sveni. That's enough, Mahausa. If you've grievances, I will hear them later. But you speak of the king now. No, she's right. He's never been one to look after his people. Anyway, thanks for letting us tour the farm. The folk here are delightful, and it was a pleasure to meet them. You couldn't have favoured us with more uplifting words. My people are my pride and joy. And you never failed to let us know, nor how much you care. Of course, you're my precious family, all of you. You seem like a good sort, Sveni, that I'll admit. But you'll forgive me if I'm not ready to lower my guard for the enemy queen just yet. For you to be called that, I dread to imagine what villainy your majesty has committed. Come now, this is no laughing matter. A ruler is responsible for the welfare of countless lives, and one wrong decision can lead to untold suffering. Failure is unconscionable. Now, I believe that we are done with the farm. Let's move on, shall we? My apologies for laughing earlier. Your friend painted an image so far removed from the Sveni we know, I couldn't help myself. Zawalja, you bastard. Sveni would take you back to the outskirts. Perhaps we should head back to the outskirts. I dare say your friends also have returned by now. My thanks again for dealing with the fiends. Come and visit us any time. Like everyone, I have the utmost admiration and respect for Queen Sven. It's a little embarrassing to say such things in her person, though. There is so much of Alexandria I would love to show you. Do you hear that?
What's happening over there?
It's nearly time.
Time for what?
I'm glad you could make it.
Are you with us?
Queen Sphene has come to see you. We're here, Namika. Everything is going to be all right. Oh, whoa. What's the matter, dear?
It can't be. That's the bangle I gave to Namika.
You know her?
Of course I know her. She was like a mother to me.
I see. She was always willing to lend a kindly ear to others, but rarely did she ever speak of herself.
Is it really you?
She must have arrived shortly before the barrier manifested. For us it was perhaps days, but for her...
Namika, it's me! Wuklamat!
I'm afraid her time with us is nearly at an end.
Has she no more soul cells?
She always used hers sparingly, but at her age, it wouldn't make a difference.
Ma'am, the ushers have arrived.
Thank you, Namika, for your many years of friendship. Take comfort in the knowledge that this is not the end. Be not afraid. Your memory will live on, in us.
Living on in memory. The giants share a similar belief.
Wait! Where are you taking her?
Worry not. She is being escorted to a medical facility in the tower. There we will ease her burden. I had hoped to make arrangements for her sooner, but she wished to remain here for as long as possible. I could not bring myself to refuse her.
Is there any way I might stay with her for a little while longer? We may not share the same blood, but she was my mother. Please.
Let us give them some time alone.
She didn't speak, but I'm grateful that I could be with her at the end. Thank you.
It's not the end.
Hmm?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking that we have much to discuss. Where shall we begin?
With what we can be reasonably certain of, perhaps. Between what we have witnessed and the testimony of Alexandria's inhabitants, it's safe to say that two distinct lands have indeed become one. What's more, having met Namika, there is no denying the divergence in the passage of time. Taken together, these phenomena strongly suggest that some manner of cross-rift displacement has occurred. Specifically, the displacement of Alexandria from another reflection to the source.
The lightning aspected one?
It does seem the most likely explanation.
What perplexes me, however, is the scale of said displacement. It far exceeds what could conceivably be achieved with a void gate, or even with the Crystal Tower. In essence, we are dealing with a localized instance of dimensional compression. The Ascians would no doubt liken it to a rejoining. Which invites the question, how was such a feat accomplished?
I wish that I had an answer for you, but this talk of reflections and dimensions is well beyond my understanding. I can only tell you that we lived peacefully under the barrier's protection for many, many years, until the day that peace was suddenly broken.
If I may clarify, the barrier predates Alexandria's displacement.
By several hundred years, yes. To when the continent we call home was ravaged by a devastating cataclysm. The barrier was erected to isolate us from the surrounding land's noxious influence.
I see. And it was only later that it was whisked away, along with its contents, by means unknown.
In other words, Sphene's as lost as the rest of us, right? The Alexandrians didn't mean to end up in Tural.
But of course, our next stop ought to be Everkeep. That tower over yonder. Once you have been registered as my guests, you will have access to Solution 9 and its residential district, where you will doubtless gain invaluable insight into Alexandria's state of affairs. Unfortunately, I cannot take you directly to where Zoraljar resides.
That you'd let us in it all goes a long way toward proving you're not content to let Zoraljar do as he pleases. But we're not talking about a simple difference of opinion here. I've come to avenge my father. And to do so, I intend to take Zoraljar's life. Are you willing to stand by and allow Alexandria's king to be slain?
A fair question. Permit me to answer it thus. My people come first. Their welfare is paramount. I will do everything in my power to keep them from harm. It is a ruler's duty. Now, I am off to register you at Everkeep. It may take some time, but you shall find the entrance open to you in due course. Oh, and ere I forget, your mother, Kafkiwa, you might try the Thunder Yards to the east.
The Thunder Yards? Is that where she is?
I am afraid I can say no more than that. Make for the Thunder Yards, and all will be made clear.
It's not as if we have other pressing business. Not until we can get into this Everkeep, anyway. Thank you for earlier. And for being a friend to Namika these past 30 years. It means a lot to me.
Namika? I'm sorry, but I don't know who you mean.
What? We were just with her. If this is some sort of a joke, it isn't funny.
I don't mean to give offense, but I honestly have no idea who you are talking about. I'm sorry.
How can you not know who she is? You're in charge here. She was under your care.
Then in all likelihood, my memories of her have been stored in the cloud. Any person seemingly forgotten without reason is probably there, in the cloud. Oh, I really must be getting back to work. If you'll excuse me.
Okay, this is messed up. This is very unsettling. My thought exactly. We'll see how it is with other people. As far as I could tell, Pepperoni genuinely had no recollection of Namika. I've never seen nor heard of anything like this before. What's going on? How could Pepperoni suddenly forget about Namika? It's as if he never knew her. Could the same thing have happened with the others as well, I wonder? There's only one way to find out. Let's make inquiries about Namika in the area. We can reconvene afterwards at the Aetheryte. Even if it's for research purposes, I simply can't stand being out there, with all the lightning and whatnot. Only a fool would choose to live in a place like this. An old woman named Namika. I'm afraid I don't know that person. I'm sorry I couldn't be of help. I'm sorry, perhaps someone else knows this Namika. These are interesting trees. I do recall caring for someone until recently, and you said that it was a woman named Namika. Well, I can't say for certain if it was her. I wouldn't worry, I'm sure she's just been taken up to the cloud. It's not common, but it does happen from time to time. What's that? Do I know a Namika? Never met anyone by that name, and I've worked at the outskirts for a good while now. If you spent time here, I would remember. Like as not, this Namika is up in the clouds. So, it was the same for everyone. Not a single person remembers Namika. It's as if the memory of her has been purged from their minds. While such a thing might be done with magic, to alter the memories of so many at once would be a tremendous undertaking. We would have felt a surge of ether corresponding to the act, and I sensed none in that moment. Neither did I. I did notice something else. Right before Peponi seemingly forgot, a light in the device on his head began to blink. Could there be a connection? Someone also said something about soul cells. But who might we ask about this? If we continue making such inquiries, I expect we would only cause confusion. Indeed. If we can't readily solve the mystery about Namika, perhaps we could search for Kakrika instead. Sven said to try the Thunder Yards. It should be in this direction. Impossible! Another kind of mechanical soldier? It looks dangerous. We better destroy it. Ah! It does not look dangerous at all. Should we give chase? I think it understood our words. It might be worth asking it some questions. Erenville, are you alright? You look like you've seen a ghost. It's nothing. I'm fine. Well, it went off in the direction we're headed anyway, so let's try to track it down. Nothing but birds over here. That voice, could it be? They mechanized the people, I think. Or at least the memories of them. You found it? To the northeast, then it must be bound for the mines. Come on then. It could well be a trap, so let's not rush in too quickly. I think it's safe to assume it went into the mines. An old coal mine. It appears to have long since been abandoned, like so many other places. The stones in those crates. Could it be turquoise? So it went in there. I heard faint voices coming from inside. So it's not alone, but we're still going in, of course. This may be a trap, but be ready for a fight, everyone. Smell me the current. It would appear that no one has worked these tunnels in quite some time. I'm not worried. We've just had to improvise countless times before, after all. This tunnel just keeps going. A device made with electrode. There seems to be the only one here. I can hear them. Several people up ahead. I can't make out their conversation with the echoing. Let's keep going. Stay on your guard.
What is this?
A little question mark, guys.
Ironville!
A trap?
It really is you!
Huh?
Who?
I just had to get a look at you in the light. I can still hardly believe my eyes. But it is you, my darling Elizabeth.
Oh!
My darling, what now?
Oh, it's so good to see you, my fussy little bun bun. What are you doing here? What brings you all this way?
Fussy little bun bun.
Why the long face? Aren't you happy to see me after all this time?
I'd know that laugh anywhere. Mother?
Wait. Since when was your mother a weird floating thing?
And what have we here? Say, aren't you Galul Jaja's kin? I knew I recognized that adorable fuzzy face. Elenesphere was always so excited whenever you invited him over to play. You remember me, I hope?
I can't say that I do, but you knew my father?
Appearances notwithstanding, it would seem this is my mother, Kafkiwa.
I'm sorry?
Oh, but this won't do. Come in! Friends of my Elenesphere are always welcome.
All I ask is a little forewarning, but no.
Just when I thought I was starting to get a handle on this place. How are things still getting stranger?
Hey. The Elegans had machines that could be controlled remotely. Is she using something similar to communicate with us? Can't say I understand what's going on, but at least Kafkia is safe. Oh, hello? Ehrenfeld's mother is a floating machine. Right, that makes about as much sense as everything else thus far. At this point, I doubt anything could possibly surprise me. Oh, the music's gone weird! As far as I can tell, this is indeed my mother. I can think of few people in the world quite so spirited. But as to what's happened, we'll need to ask her. Ehrenfeld's conflicted by this long-fated reunion. Let's hear what she has to say. It's so wonderful to meet you all. And the students of Baldesion. It's been a while since I heard that name. Dare I ask the reason for your appearance? Oh, this? It's just a body that I can control remotely. I use this for operations. We are members of our resistance organization, Oblivion, we call ourselves, and our goal is to thwart Zorajal's ambitions for conquest. As the leader, it's prudent that I remain where I can't be easily found. I see. Whimsical appearances notwithstanding, yours is a serious cause. Right you are, though truth be told, Oblivion was founded for an altogether different purpose. And that is? As I expect you've already noticed, everything you see within this dome, the buildings, the people, the very earth beneath our feet, is a fusion of two worlds. Stopping such a fusion was Oblivion's original mission. Then does that mean you know who or what is responsible for it? I'm afraid not. This was a long time ago. Our mission statement has become more of a legend that's passed down to members. By the time we joined, our sole objective was stopping Zoraljah. But we failed to do that, and now he's taken his army outside the dome. None of you wear those strange devices on your heads. Does that have something to do with your work? You mean this? It's a regulator, the pinnacle of electro-op technology, and that we don't wear it is indeed related to our operations. What exactly does it do? Allow me to explain. Regulators have two primary functions. The first, as the name suggests, is the regulation of the wearer's reserve of souls. Should they die, the regulator expends a soul to bring them back to life. Reserve? You mean people walk around carrying spare souls? They do. Souls are packaged in cells, and they can be used to replenish the life force that is lost due to sudden death, such as accidents. They do nothing for those who die of old age, though. Distribution of soul cells is based on one's work evaluation, to encourage exemplary performance when fulfilling their duties. Souls as a common resource, and payment for services rendered. The void-sent practice of consuming others for their ether comes to mind, and similarly I expect the act comes with some risk. Wouldn't the consciousness of others corrupt your own? That is prevented through memory management, a process in which regulators also play a role. Memory management? Then the reason everyone has forgotten Namika's existence. The regulators are constantly recording the memories of their wearer, so if they should suddenly die, their memories can be refreshed as part of the restoration process. This is how they preserve one's identity and sense of self. However, the regulators are also triggered when someone else dies. Reason being is that regulators forcibly extract memories relating to the deceased from anyone wearing one. Why would they do such a thing? It's a kindness bestowed upon the people by Everkeep's core system, so that no one has to suffer the pain of loss. So this is what's meant by their memories being in the cloud. Indeed, all memories of the deceased are wiped from the minds of the people and archived in the system. It's a frightening function of the regulators, and an integral step in soul cell production. You see, when a person dies of natural causes, their soul is temporarily housed in the regulator. It's then delivered to a facility where the memories are separated from the soul. The result is a fresh soul cell, free of impurities, ready for distribution and consumption. Meanwhile, the memories are stored in the core system to be remembered forever. And this is why people are happy here? On its surface, it's similar to the Yokoi philosophy, but I see nothing noble or comforting in it. Well, it doesn't seem so terrible to me personally. All comes down to what you're used to, I suppose. Like the barrier encased in Alexandria, the system was created to overcome the calamity that transformed the world hundreds of years ago. Amidst the mounting death toll, scientists used Electrope to devise a means to save what lives they could, so that the nation could endure. I understand the people of Alexandria did what they believed was best to save their people. I just find it so hard to believe that Tirali would also accept this way of living. It came as a shock to us as well. In fact, a great many were opposed to it. Which is why the use of regulators was never compulsory. The people have always been free to go without them if they so wish. Sveen didn't strike me as the sort of ruler to impose her will on others. Ah, so you've already met. She's the one who suggested we come to the Thunderyards in the first place. She also said she wants to help us stop Zoloja. Awfully kind of her to point you in my direction, and to speak so candidly as well. Whatever her motives, she has given the people a choice: live with the risk of true death, or the security of the regulators. Everything that lives must someday die. That is the natural order of things. Quite right, but however you feel about them, it would be easier to understand what the regulators are capable of if you saw it for yourself. I know just the person to show you, and as luck would have it, they should be starting work right about now. Who are we going to see exactly? Come with me and you'll find out. Take care not to get struck by lightning out there. One fella reckons you could dodge them by jumping back the instant there's a flash, but that's crazy if you ask me. Oh, that's a callback to the Thunder Plains. Nostalgia is my twin sister. Like most people, we both used to wear regulators, but, well, let's just say a lot happened. Firearms make the most sense for people who don't like combat training like us. That's why we have to salvage as much as we can from the mechanical soldiers and convert them for our use. We're to see how the regulators work, but how? I'm sorry, but I just can't accept the idea of using souls as a resource. So those regulators are to blame for everyone forgetting Namika, for forgetting what a wonderful person she was. What does she intend to show us? To alter the memories of the populace with such precision is no small feat. Everyone here? Good. It is the responsibility of the Thunderyard's hunters to tell any fiends found wandering the area. We're to meet an acquaintance of mine, Strika, one of these hunters. What do you think is in this box? I'm guessing food. Judging by its name, I take this facility is for gathering lightning energy. Let's get this over with. Given the opportunity, I should very much like to study Electrum on behalf of the students. While I'm not blind to the potential benefits of these regulators, the risks inherent in giving another party the power to alter your memories cannot be overstated, never mind the ethical considerations of using souls in such a fashion. Striker will show you what life can be like wearing a regulator. Kafkia, what are you doing here? And with so many friends? Apologies for the interruption, but I was hoping they might observe you at work. Hunting, you mean? That's fine, I guess. Hold on, I assumed they were wearing special regulators like Queen's Fiend's crown, but they aren't wearing anything at all. It's much too dangerous to be here without one. What if they're struck by lightning or attacked by beasts? I can assure you they're all quite capable of looking after themselves. If anything should go amiss, I will take full responsibility. Well, don't say I didn't warn you. Danger aside, there isn't really much to see. Kafkia said you're a hunter, but wouldn't it be easier for those mechanical soldiers to guard this place? It would, if not for the fact they're weak to lightning. And Thunderyard being what it is, they've been ordered to steer clear. Some good they are, eh? But these facilities are vital to the upkeeping of Alexandria's infrastructure, so it falls on hunters like me to deal with any fiends. Given the danger, we're well compensated for our work. It's a perfect profession for anyone looking to build up savings. The special selection of souls for hunters isn't terrible either. I brought this lot here to see the danger you speak of. It's not too much trouble to ask. Ah, of course. In which case, it'd be a shame to waste my efforts on just any old beast. You all can handle yourselves in a fight, right? If you cause a ruckus slaying what critters you see nearby, there's a chance you'll draw out something worthy of a demonstration. I'm not sure I understand, but I suppose we should each slay what we can. I'm afraid I must leave the fighting to you. My fussy little bum-bum was never any good at fighting, and this body of mine isn't suited to it either. We leave all this work to your capable hands. This one I'll do nicely. We'll help you. It's fine, really. I face worse. Just watch. I don't like the looks of this. This does help. Oh no! Look out! Ah! Preserve. She needs healing. That was embarrassing. The bastard caught me off guard. Are you mad? Seriously, let us help. I told you not to worry. This will only take a moment. So cool! So cool! Oh! Just like Zorlja. Come on, let's get out of here. That's also a function of the regulator. I think I understand now how Zorlja was able to return from the dead and defeat Papa, but I'm not sure what we saw at the end there. As soon as the regulator turned red, it was as if you were possessed. Your movements became beast-like. Don't tell me. You empowered yourself with the soul of a beast. I'm reminded of the serpentine soldier we encountered at Vanguard, who did the same. So you've crossed paths with one of the King's elite. Such a form can only be achieved from gorging yourself on souls. We could do the same in theory, but it's incredibly dangerous. Besides, it's not as if they'd allow hunters to carry that many souls to begin with. Well, I should be getting back to work. Take care. And there you have it. Regulators can be loaded with two kinds of souls. Those of peoples and those of beasts. The souls of people can be used to grant user preternatural strength. Naturally, it can also be used to ensure no one suffers an untimely death. And what about the souls of beasts? They work in much the same fashion, imbuing you the strength of the chosen animal. If, for example, you used the soul of a wolf, you would grow more agile and feral, as you saw with Striker. Using several of the same type at once, however, would result in physical changes. Your teeth might become fangs, your nails claws. Too many and you become more beast than man. Changing one's form through the souls of other beings, it becomes more and more reminiscent of void scent. Yet, unlike the void, where the cycle of death and rebirth is simply broken, souls here are forcibly taken before they might reach the ethereal sea. Different means to achieve similar ends. A cycle to which all within the dome are bound. This is wrong. This is all wrong. It is indeed hard to accept being so far removed from our own beliefs. Perhaps more shocking is that the technology used to achieve this all was developed hundreds of years ago. The civilizations in the reflections are surprising indeed. Sveen speaks of lived existences that suggest she's far older than she appears. Considering the power of these regulators, perhaps it's not so far-fetched. I've never seen it for myself, but it's said that a beast's soul is potent enough. A single soul is enough to induce a monstrous transformation. When Emmett Selk spoke of surprising civilizations in the other reflections, I wonder if he had Alexandria in mind. Having seen the beauty of the ethereal sea firsthand, I simply can't accept what they've done here in Alexandria. I understand this is part of their culture, but is no less disconcerting. It's not too different to the weapons project and the whole soul extraction thing. While we all have our thoughts on souls, for now the important thing is that we know what power Zor-El-Jah has at its disposal. It's one thing to separate corporeal ether from incorporeal ether, but to strip memories from the soul entirely is an unprecedented technology. This is no longer only Tulioli's concern. With this newfound power, Zor-El-Jah has become a real threat to the entire world. Indeed, he has to be stopped no matter the cost. Regulators give Zor-El-Jah a frightening advantage, and that's just one of the devices he's gotten his hands on. If we're to have a chance at defeating him, we have to learn all we can about the technology he has at his disposal. I understand this is part of the plan. Having seen the beauty of the ethereal sea firsthand, I simply can't accept what they've done here in Alexandria. When Emmett Selk spoke of civilizations and their reflections, I wonder if he had Alexandria in mind. Svenny looks to be an age with Alice and Buklamat, but I wonder if these regulars have anything to do with that. Kapkia regards you with concerned curiosity. I trust you've gained an insight into the use of souls in Alexandria. It's shocking, I know. I was overwhelmed myself at first. I expect you'll need some time to digest it all, but for now, let's head back to Earth and Sky. At this rate... There's something I want to discuss with everyone. Let's take a moment before we head back into the tunnel. What does Lamity want to discuss, I wonder? To think that everyone has lived here for 30 years, long enough to become accustomed to the way of life. I understand the argument that we should keep an open mind if this practice is integral to their culture, but every fibre of my being rails against it. 'Tis well that we can see firsthand how regulators are used. To draw upon even the souls of fiends, I shudder to imagine how powerful Zorojal could become. I'm sorry for delaying us, but I have some thoughts I need to share. In both technology and values, it's plain there's a wide gulf between Tulioli and Alexandria. And while Zorojal knows everything about us, we know hardly anything about what he's become. Indeed, we haven't even seen what lies within that enormous tower Everkeep. So here, I'd like to make a proposal. That is, we work with Kafkia and our people. We need to learn as much as we can about the enemy. The quickest way would be to join hands with the Oblivion. We've only just met them, I know, and we shouldn't be too quick to trust. But the fact remains that they share our desire to stop Zorojal. Sphene too claims to be at odds with the King of Resolve. May I ask why you would cooperate with Oblivion instead? It's simple, really. Their leader is Erenvel's mother. Meanwhile, whatever Sphene may feel, she's a ruler of this nation. There's a greater risk in working with her, and less reason to take her at her word. A fair point, and knowing Zorojal, we must assume that his arrangement with Sphene was not made without some consideration. All I know is it would be heartening to have allies in this strange realm. I think everyone would agree that any help we could get would be welcome. Hold on, there's no guarantee that it's actually my mother behind the machine. Without seeing her in the flesh, we can't rule out the possibility of a ploy. If it turns out to be a trap, we endanger not only ourselves, but everyone in Tulioli. As you say, we have no proof that it's really Kafkia. But I make my proposal in full awareness of this. Whether we're going to war or striving for peace, we need to learn as much as we can. Otherwise, we can't hope to do anything meaningful. As it stands, we know too little about this realm. We need to remedy that. We need to study the enemy, and when the time comes, strike down Zorojal for good and for all. What's more, I trust you, Erenvel. You've always had great instincts honed from your time training under your mother. What if I'm wrong? What if sentiment is clouding my judgment? I trust you as well. That's always the way of it with you. Fine. If you're set on this, then I'll say no more. Then it's settled. Let's head inside and secure ourselves some new allies. We're ready to hide in a heartbeat. I agree with Lamat. It's a gamble regardless of whether we choose to work with people here. And more knowledge is better than less. While I'm all for dealing with Zoral Ja, we need to consider how our actions may affect ordinary Alexandrians. They're not the enemy after all. The vow of resolve is possessed of conviction and flexibility both. If the tales are true, she learned much in the course of the rite of succession. With all the resources at their disposal, I'm hopeful that Kafkia and her people will make great allies. I'm unaccustomed to seeing her make decisions like a ruler. Better than her former vacillating self, though. The wildlife can be dangerous out there. You need to take care if you don't wear a regulator. Oh, hello again. You understand how regulators work now, I trust. It's one of those things that's best seen in action. Yeah. We spoke to you already, I believe. Yes, we did. Kafkia, there's something I need to tell you and your people. We came here for no other reason than to strike down Zoral Ja. But I thought he was your brother. Do you really mean to kill your own kin? My kin invaded our nation and murdered our people. As vow of resolve, it falls to me to bring him into account. I am prepared to do what I must, and I won't hesitate when the time comes. Like us, you and yours oppose Zoral Ja. In light of this, I propose that we work together to stop him once and for all. I realize that this is sudden. That is a gamble to trust someone you've only just met. But I would trust in the conviction of anyone who shares my goal. So fight with me, I beg you. As you say, our goals align, and I don't doubt your resolve in the least. If you hadn't proposed working together, I would have done so instead. Truth be told, it's been tough going it alone. While we've gathered ample intelligence, we don't have the strength to take decisive action. Besides, how could we not trust you? My only son is with you, my fussy little bun-bun. He's all the reason I need. Then it's decided. Here's to a fruitful collaboration. Thank you, Kafkia. Everyone, together we'll achieve great things, I'm sure of it. Then let's not waste any time. We've been wondering about Zoral Ja's whereabouts. Is there a palace inside that tower? After a fashion, the king resides on the uppermost level. But while Queen Sphene has a penchant for going out in public, he seldom shows himself. What's more, his movements are highly classified. Not even his commanders are privy to that information. If anyone knows where he is at any given time, it could only be the Queen. Even if we don't know his whereabouts, Zoral Ja will eventually march on Tulioli again. That's when we can go after him. The drawback is, we'd have to wait for the invasion to happen. Innocents would be put in harm's way. There's also the possibility he'll leave everything to his minions, and not command the army in person. No, he'll take the field. What makes you so certain? My brother has always yearned to surpass our father. That's why he attacked Tuliolo. After waiting for 30 years, the first thing he wanted to do was demonstrate his newfound strength. But killing Papa didn't satisfy him. Now he's bent on proving himself stronger than me and Konoha, who bested him in the right of succession. He challenged me to strike him down. He wants a duel to show everyone that he's superior to the Dawn Servant, and he won't let his minions deprive him of the pleasure. Then why hasn't he appeared and given you the chance? Surely he's aware of our presence here. At that, I can only guess. Perhaps he wants to dazzle us with his wondrous realm. But if he won't deign to appear, then we'll have to force him to do so. Even as we gather intelligence, we make no move to attack him, show absolutely no interest in a confrontation. Knowing him, he'll tire of waiting and turn his attention to Konoha instead. He'll attack Tuliolo again, like he said he would. I see. If you believe this the best approach, then we have no objections. Any campaign against Tuliolo requires that Dawntrail lead his forces to Vanguard. We'll have lookouts keep an eye on it day and night. Such a strategy is certainly viable. If we're proceeding with it, though, we should warn those outside. Indeed, they need time to prepare their defences. I should be glad to coordinate our efforts. I'm already in regular contact with Shustola, and will make sure to keep our comrades apprised of developments. You can leave Vanguard to us. We'll send word at the first sign of movement. It seems we have a plan. While we wait for Zorolja to move, you do well to prepare it for battle, and it begins with familiarizing yourselves with the technology that empowers him. To that end, I'll show you Oblivion's main headquarters. Oh? I thought this place was it. You'll be impressed to know that we're located right inside that tower, in the residential district of Solution 9. Hiding a tree in a forest, as it were. The only question is how to get you through the checkpoint. Ah, about that. Sveen said that she'd make it so that we could enter without issue. She did? Curious. She's not supposed to have such authority over the sentries. If I recall her correctly, her words were that she would register us as guests. I see. Perhaps we're in the clear then. When you're ready, come and meet me at the tower entrance. Before you head out, give us a moment to introduce ourselves properly, eh? After all, names are good to know when working together. Is it just me, or are Envel and Kafkia complete opposites in personality? Between making new friends and entering the tower, I can't help but feel a little excited. The intelligence that Kafka and her people possess will be useful to our efforts. If this is like their main headquarters, I can't imagine what the actual place is like. It's eerie hearing my mother's voice coming from that peculiar machine. Nice to meet you. If Kafka trusts you, then so do we. while Oblivion has operates all over. We're the main crew here. I'm Geode, leader of this hideout. And the dependable young twins behind me are Nostalgia and Waiki. I'm Nostalgia. It's a pleasure to meet you. My sister and I were born and raised inside the barrier. We've been working with Oblivion for 3 years, and our main duties are surveillance and provisioning. Twins, eh? That explains the resemblance. Waiki is a Tonawakian name, unless I'm mistaken. Oh, that's right. Our mother is Tuliolan and our father is Alexandrian. They wanted to honor both cultures. They're beautiful names. Thank you. Though I have no memories of my mother, I'd like to think I carry a part of her with me. So, what made you decide to join Oblivion? We wanted to avenge our father. Ambrose was his name, and years ago he was taken away after a scuffle with a soldier over a disagreement. It was a minor incident, so at first we clung to the hope that he'd be released. But when months went by with no word from him or about him, we made the decision to remove our regulators. We had already lost memories of our mother. We didn't want to lose those of our father as well. They've all forgotten about him now, everyone who had known him. That bastard! Even here he thinks nothing of his own people. Sometime later, we were approached by a member of Oblivion, hoping to get justice for our father. We joined the Order. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to darken the mood. No, I appreciate you sharing this. Together we will avenge your father. Thank you. Something tells me you have what it takes. You introduce yourself too. Go on. It's pretty much the same story for me. While mine is a Tonwatian name, I haven't the faintest how things are outside the barrier. It's my dream to go and see it with my own eyes, our mother's homeland. Once peace is restored, you must come and visit. The wilds are beautiful, the food delicious, and everyone so nice. You'll love it. And that's us here. You'll meet others in the back room. That's our headquarters. Some of them are a little eccentric, but they have good hearts, all. And Sheba, one last thing. It isn't exactly my place to say this, but thank you for seeking out Kafkia. She talks about you so much. It's clear how important you are to her. That's all. Be good to your mother while you still can, eh? Well, we'll let you go for now. Feel free to use this hideout as you like. Meanwhile, in Everkeep,
You've been consulting with Wook Lamont. No matter. I do not know what you are scheming. But when your realm lay on the brink, you were powerless. You had no choice but to turn to me. Whatever sentiment you may feel for her, it is my power you require. Is it not?
Perhaps. And yet, knowing the love that Wooglamoot bears for her people, how she regards them all as kin, I cannot help but wish to spare her the same pain I have suffered. What's more, her friends possess new knowledge. Were we to work together, we might find another path. I know you're loath to consider it, but is there no hope for peace with Tuliolo? What we've already done may be unforgivable, but it needn't continue. You needn't kill your brother and sister.
I slew my only flesh and blood. Yet you attempt to sway me with an appeal to family. The memory of my father's final moments still fills me with disappointment. Age came for him before I did. For long years, I sought to prove the miracle. And weak as he was, defeating him achieved nothing. To kill them is my only recourse. Wooglamoot and Kona, who bested him as he was in his prime.
They are still your siblings, even if not by blood. That such bonds should mean so little to you.
I am bound to no one. Serve none save myself. I made that clear when first you spoke to me in the Golden City. Remember, I can easily kill your beloved family. If you would protect them, cast aside any foolish notions. Your wisdom and abilities are valuable insofar as our goals align. So think well before you act, Queen of Reason. Wooglamoot, if you are Father's worthy successor, then you will find your way to me. But should you fall short, I will lay waste to Tuliolal.
What now?
They say the sky outside the barrier is truly beautiful. I'd love to see it one day. My sister is something of an introvert, so I take it on myself to watch over her. By the same token, she's extremely cautious and observant. That makes her great at reconnaissance. By the way, you'll want to watch yourselves around the mechanical soldiers roaming outside. They're malfunctioning and may attack unprovoked. It takes no small amount of courage to oppose Zoro Ja and his army. The members of Oblivion must be driven indeed. Nostalgia and Wawaki remind me of Alphanod and myself. Similar but so very different. We should chat sometime and trade twin tales. At long last we're entering the tower. Now not that I'm excited or anything. Not unduly. 'Twill help her if she's mentioned anything embarrassing. Wooglamoot is eager to head to Everkeep. Right. Kafkia's waiting. Let's head to the tower. Yeah, they say the same as they did before. We're ready to hide in a heartbeat. God, I can't wait to talk to people again. There's so much I want to talk about, but it's like I need to wait for them to go through story, so I can like. I mean, they've probably already cleared story. I'm the slowpoke of the group. Visitor detected, verifying access rights. Error, no data found. You must be accompanied by registered personnel to proceed. Ah, there you are. If Queen Sphene has registered you as guest, you should be able to march right in. And if she hasn't, then you may have a swarm of Zaraljal's minions to deal with. Nothing for it to see as Sphene has betrayed us, eh? Thank you for your diligent service, friends. My companions and I would like to pass, if you'd be so kind. Outrunner, guide, unit identified, registration number verified. 6 accompanying civilians identified, verifying credentials. Credentials verified. Welcome, guests of Queen Sphene. What a relief. There you have it. It seems the Queen was true to her word. Follow me, everyone. Solution 9 awaits. God, this gives me very much Phantasy Star Online vibes.
Everkeep, a tower of electrope piercing a perpetual shroud of storm clouds. Occupying the 9th level of this 12-tiered structure is a residential district called Solution 9. In so naming their home, what hopes did its founders harbor for it? And did it prove the answer they sought?
Wow. So beautiful.
Spectacular, isn't it? There are more districts throughout the tower, including industrial ones. but solution 9 is the largest.
Just being here makes my head spin.
Perfectly natural reaction. A city of shimmering electro, replete with strange technologies that cater to every conceivable need. We never dreamed of the life back home in Tuliolo. Now, while I go and explain the situation to those in the back room, why not take a moment to explore? I believe lived experiences are far more educational than dry explanations. And you want to know more about Sphene and Zeralja's dominion, do you not?
You had me at explore.
I had a feeling you'd be keen.
Just to confirm, while we have been allowed inside, are we also permitted to roam?
Absolutely. As Sphene's registered guest, you'll find you're exempt from the sentry scrutiny. The elevator to the uppermost level. I wouldn't go near that. But other areas should be fine provided you act like you belong.
All right then, we'll show ourselves around.
Yes. Familiarizing ourselves with the technology here will help us prepare for the battles to come.
Try not to enjoy yourselves too much, or you're liable to attract attention.
Once you've explored to your satisfaction, come to the entrance to True View in the eastern sector. The way from there is a little complicated, so I'll send someone to guide you.
Understood. We'll see you later.
I feel like I've gone to a fun amusement park.
I shall speak with the residents. Perhaps one of them will recognize the earring.
What's with this place? How can this all be the inside of a tower?
So, what aren't you telling me? Where are you?
That, I can't reveal yet. Precautions, you understand. Just know that I'm safe. But come, tell me about your adventurer friend. You seem to have a great deal of faith in her. You must have been through a lot together.
You might say that. For instance, we found the entrance to the Golden City.
Wait, what? You did? Eleanor Spear, why didn't you mention this sooner?
You want to explore together?
Sure, everyone else has run off.
It's not that I'm scared or anything. Everything is just so different from home is all.
Towers inside the tower. I see it, but I still can't believe it. For now, I say we proceed straight ahead. If we feel like we're getting lost, we can always turn around and go back the way we came. Welcome to Solution 9. Can I interest me a pack of angel snacks? They're all the rage at the moment. An area we can't reach yet, by the looks of it. I tell you, the commute from here to work is enough to take it out of me, which is why I take every opportunity I can to wind and appreciate the greenery. Gotta make the most out of my day off. Sweet, sweet coffee. Just leave me be, I got absolutely fleeced today. Watching the world go by, coffee in hand, what could be better? Did you hear about the outsiders who managed to get past the dome? What? How could I possibly get everything done before the deadline? What's your recommendation? And then I nearly drove to it back. The season is just, of course. Maybe what happened to the company if you crashed? Welcome to Mosaic, a place for folks from all walks of life to mingle and mesh like the patterned stones of, well, you get the picture. If you like coffee, I recommend a original blend. These cups are so handy. Right, the electric lining keeps your drink at the perfect temperature. Hello there, I realize we're not in business yet. Nevertheless, we look forward to your custom in the near future. I hate to turn away a customer, but I'm still getting set up. Trust those couriers to bungle up a delivery. That'll be the place to level the crafters. Ugh, a crossroads already? This place is too much. I've no idea where I should go. Right, I've made up my mind. Let's head to that building there.
Lamati!
Sphene!
I was worried you might have had trouble at the checkpoint, but I see everything went according to plan.
Well, that's thanks to you.
Now, I know you've scarcely arrived, but I have a request to make of you.
Oh, a request, you say?
Yes, an important one. I'll say it plain. I want you to make peace with Zeralja.
What? I thought you said you weren't on his side.
We have come no closer to seeing eye to eye, nor do I condone his methods. Be that as it may, I don't want you to fight him. I don't want you to regret a decision made in anger and haste. Unequipped with regulators as you are, the risk is too great.
I appreciate your concern, but you ask the impossible. Zeralja murdered our father. His minions slaughtered our countrymen. He will never renounce his war. As vow of resolve, it falls to me to stop him. I know you love your people too, and so you must understand how I feel. Why I cannot, will not back down.
I do understand. All too well. Let me say only this, then. Zeralja will use any means to win. If you would protect your people, return to them at once and prepare. Prepare as best you can. It may ring hollow coming from the queen of an enemy nation. But, unlike me, you still have the power to determine your own fate.
You really are a curious one. Look, you needn't worry for us. We have dependable comrades holding the fort in Tulihyolal. They'll keep everyone safe, so we can devote our attention to affairs here.
Please.
I won't yield on this either.
So you have comrades on whom you can rely. I envy you.
You know, we'd like to learn more about you.
About me?
To be frank, we're still not sure whether or not you're trustworthy. So, if you have a moment, would you show us around the district? That way, we can get to know you better.
You're asking me, the Queen, to show you around? Oh, but I jest. I'm flattered that you've taken an interest in me. Very well. I shall be your guide. You're my guests, after all, and teaching you about my realm would be a pleasure in and of itself. If you like, I can introduce you to my citizens, too. I consider them family, as you do yours.
By all means, we're in your capable hands.
That you are. This will be an enjoyable and enlightening tour, I promise.
With Sabine as our guide, we needn't fear getting lost. Sabine sounds ready to take you on a tour of Solution 9. Let's begin then, shall we? I must say, I'm really grateful. This place is so vast and confusing, I didn't even know where to begin. While the district may seem daunting in size and structure, all the key facilities are situated near ley nodes, what you call aetherites. Remember this and you won't lose your way. Now then, seeing as it is right here, I will show you the Nexus Arcade first. Please follow me. Phantasy Star Online lobby. The complex is home to all manner of shops, from food and daily necessities to technological conveniences. You can find most anything here. Everkeep's interior is vast, as you've observed. This arcade makes it possible for people to acquire what they need in one centralized location. Amazing! How do you get to the upper levels? I don't see stairs. Do you see the glowing pattern over yonder? That's an automatic conveyor. Such contraptions are found throughout Everkeep, allowing us to swiftly move between faraway places. That was Varus and walking. Are they also made from that strange metal, what's it? Yes, the conveyors are powered by electrope. As a matter of fact, the ore is integrated into about everything in Everkeep, even the floors and walls. By etching arcane circuits upon it, electrope can be used to convert lightning energy to those of other elements. In so doing, we can achieve various effects. For instance, a conversion to wind produces flotation, which is required for propulsion of our flying vehicles. A conversion to fire, meanwhile, produces light and heat, and is empowered in devices such as street lamps and heaters. There are even self-heating cups that keep your drink warm. Can you make a drink cold if you convert to ice instead? You certainly can. Our vending machines do just that. What's more, multiple energies can be combined to produce some clever effects. For instance, by manipulating air with wind while projecting light with lightning, it's possible to alter one's appearance. It's almost scary what you can do with Electrope. If such a wondrous material existed in our world, I imagine everyone would be fighting over it. This shop over here, what does it sell? Ah yes, let's go and have a look. I dare say you will find it interesting. Welcome, Miss Curtis, to peruse today's selection. What's all this? This shop sells food. Those are the items on the counter. That's food? I can't imagine what they taste like. I thought you might be surprised. Your countrymen were too in the beginning. Come, you must sample something. Choose one and I will purchase it. Welcome, friends. How lucky you are for Her Majesty to treat you. The 5 items on display are our most popular. I recommend one of them if this is your first time. Select an item that interests you. Slab of pink hexagons, liquid filled pouch, long rectangular bar, hexagon pattern bag, black and yellow tin. The synthetic fruit pellets. They're our best approximation of taste and texture of grape. I've never tried the real fruit, so I can't say how faithful they are, but there's no denying their popularity. Ah, the revivifying tonic. I take it you're thirsty? The flavour is a sublime blend of sweet and salty, and it stays fresh for over 10 years thanks to the special container. Keen on the perfect meal, are you? It's got all the nutrients the body needs, packed in a single foodstuff. The flavour is formulated to never taste dull, and one bar will satisfy you for a whole day. Many folks prefer this to take in multiple meals. Ah yes, the salad paste. This is designed for those who are concerned about their figure. With its blend of 9 varieties of vegetables, it will help your efforts to slim down. Fashion models swear by it, and youths can't get enough of this stuff either. This here is cultivated steak. It's not quite the same as the real thing they produce in the outskirts, but it's a sight more affordable. This particular product is known as Gold Label, and is a delicious hybrid of beef and chicken grown at a plant on the 4th level. Wow, they're all very tempting. I'm going to have the steak. I'm absolutely starving. Thank you for your custom. This being Her Majesty's treat is bound to taste all the better. Say, would you mind sampling your selections here and now? It's been a long time since we had newcomers, and I'd love to see your reactions. This is a great chance to learn about Alexandrian culture, Elita. Let's dig in. Alright, here I go. Following Wukulamat's lead, you sample your selection. Amazing! I've never had any meat like this before. It's tender like chicken, but flavoursome like ronique, and the spices give it that right amount of kick. I could eat this every day. Heh, don't mind them. They're just happy to see your honest reaction. And how about you? It's fantastic. Haha, it's always such a pleasure. My thanks for humouring me. This does take me back. Though it was chaotic when the people of Tuliol first arrived, we endeavoured to learn about one another and embraced our differences. Ah, right. What about you, Sphene? Aren't you having something to eat too? I appreciate the thought, but I'm fine for now, thank you. I wonder if she even can eat. Alright, but what's your favourite food, if you don't mind me asking? My favourite food? Why do you wish to know this? Because I want to get to know you better, why else? The more you know someone, the more you grow fond of them. That's what my old man believed, and my experience have led me to believe the same. My favourite food? Is it such a difficult question? I'm sorry, it's just when I think of those who labour to bring us food, I find I can't settle on one thing. I thought I was indecisive, but you're something else. Indecisive? Perhaps I am, but you didn't need to laugh about it. My favourite food? That's a question I may never be able to answer. Welcome, friend. If aught should catch your eye, you need only ask. I don't know about you, but I'm satisfied. Let's keep moving. Very well. Next, I was thinking of showing you the residential sector, but it's in part so I can tend to personal matters. It's a visitation, to be precise, and I believe it will be education for you as well. Would the two of you mind accompanying me? Not at all. Wonderful. Let me know when you've seen enough here, and we'll make our way. I was wondering what kind of homes they have here. Ready? Then let's head to the residential sector. It lies in the southwest. As we walk, I'd be glad to tell you about any place of interest that we've come upon. Lamity trusts you without question. How nice it will be to have such a friend. That meat was so good. I have to get everyone at home to try it. This is Mosaic, a cafe. Here you can buy drinks to enjoy while you relax. I see, in Dawntrail there's a similar establishment called Zebra of Thai. That's seashell in the local tongue. Is there a story behind the name Mosaic? There is! In our continent the races are named for stones. There's the Hue who resemble the Tontoa, the Tile who resemble and the graceful Eldite, and the diminutive and affable Milaria. When they all gather here, they appear as mosaic of colours. Thus did the founder choose to name the cafe. Heh. That's nice. If they serve tacos here, it'd be perfect. Tacos? A traditional Dawntrail dish, and one of my favourite foods. You must try it one day. Oh, yes, definitely. We'll make it happen once we've restored peace to Dawntrail. Right, let's continue on. Let's go for some tacos at Zebra of Tea, the three of us. Have you eaten these tacos before? For Lamity to recommend them so highly, they must be delicious indeed. And here we are. These buildings are where our citizens live. They're massive. Each one is bigger than the palace. They have to be, for just about all Alexandrians have apartments here. Lest you wonder, I'm here to visit some people. Their apartment is in the building you left here at Residential Radius 914. Residential Radius? That's right. Come, the door opens automatically. I do hope you like the district. The people worked hard to build it, paying attention to every little detail. You really get the sense that Spain loves our nation, don't you? Oh wow, there's more through here. Oh wow. This is the lobby, a common area for residents. I see, and what does that machine there do? Ah, the co-answers. They look after the residents. If you require assistance or have questions, they'll be glad to assist. Is that so? I have no shortage of questions, but I'll direct them at you for now. By all means, you may consider me your personal concierge. Hey, Sphene, can anyone live in this place? Naturally. In fact, many of your countrymen take their homes here. No matter your origin or race, occupation or regulator uses, all Alexandrian citizens are eligible for apartment. This includes those you met who work on the outskirts. You've taken care of everyone for 30 years. I'm truly grateful. Current location, Residential District 914, Sector 2. Visitors must be equipped with a regulator or present a valid visitor permit. This is the place. A mother and son live here. Hello, Isidora. Your Majesty, you came. I have friends with me today. Is that all right? Of course. Friends of the Queen are friends of ours. Please make yourselves at home. How has Milos been? There has been no change, but the symptoms are thankfully mild today. Hello, Milos. Have you missed me? My son was born with Levin sickness, a severe etheric imbalance towards lightning. As a result, he suffers from paralysis. He cannot walk and struggles to speak. For a blessing, he still has his hearing, and even on bad days he can communicate with his eyes. I see. Sphene visits often, does she? She does. Milos simply adores her. He sometimes even manages a smile when she's here. What of yourself, Isidora? How are you holding up? You needn't worry about me, Your Majesty. You always make time for us, and we have everything we need. I'm glad to hear that, but you mustn't strain yourself, understood? There is nothing you can do for him? Perhaps a treatment with souls, or... Unfortunately, no. While souls can revive those who have met with an accident, they cannot reverse the effects of old age and illness. Truth be told, many children are born like Milos. The illness has existed for generations, but we've been unable to find a cure. The cause is quite clear though. The excess lightning in the environment. It's no coincidence the number of cases has risen dramatically these past 30 years. It's all my fault. What was that? I'm sorry, Isadora, but I must be going. I promise to make it a proper visit next time, with treats to share. There's no need to apologize, Your Majesty. If it weren't for you, Milo and I wouldn't still be here. Thank you, Queen Sphene. It's my pleasure, Milos. I'll be back soon, so be a good boy for your mother and for me. To think that there was such an illness. My thanks for accompanying me on the visit. The illness is a part of life in Alexandria, and I thought that you should know about it. We'll find a cure one day, mark my words. We'll make it so unfortunate children like me will smile again. To think we had such a problem. Ooh, on to 98 quests. Having recomposed herself, Sphene is ready to continue the tour. Well, let's continue the tour, shall we? Look, you obviously have duties to attend to, citizens to look after. We can stop here if you like. No, I do this because I want to, so please don't worry. Next I'll show you one of the district's most vital facilities, a place called Resolution. To reach it we'll need to go by way of Lanode 9, where the Aetherite is situated. All the residential radii are laid out like this, with gardens right outside the entrance. I love coming here to relax. Technology's great, but we always need trees and plants, you know? Don't tell me we need to use that now. The conveyor ahead will transport you to the government sector, where Resolution is located. The markings on the conveyor indicate its direction, and there's a pier just like it on the other side. Is it safe? Extremely. There's no need to be afraid. Who said I was afraid? Come on, Elita. Nothing to it, eh? A child's amusement ride. And here we are, Resolution, the operational heart of Solution 9. From Resolution, we oversee the running of the district and provide essential services to citizens, such as welfare support and job introductions. It's quicker to show than tell, so let's proceed inside. God, this place is absolutely huge.
Strange contraptions everywhere you look. What's that?
An infusion station. It dispenses souls in exchange for credits. Through hard work, citizens can obtain the peace of mind provided by spare souls. It's the way of life for Alexandrians, and has been for quite some time. But I imagine it must be difficult for outsiders to comprehend.
That's putting it lightly. To be honest, it sounds disturbing. Still, I won't dismiss it out of hand. Practices like these don't arise from nothing. There's a reason why your culture is the way it is, and I'd like to understand. Won't you tell us some of your realm's history?
With knowledge comes appreciation.
Very well. Be warned, though, that it may take a while. In the distant past, over 1,000 years ago it said, lightning energy began to swell in our world. According to ancient records that date back around 8 centuries, the rainy season spanned a quarter of the year, during which time severe thunderstorms ravaged the land. 4 centuries later, this season had lengthened to nearly half the year. The trend continued, with our ancestors spending longer and longer languishing beneath storm clouds. Crops failed and livestock starved. But amidst this growing desperation, a miraculous material was discovered that promised salvation: electrope.
The stuff that's used everywhere here.
Indeed. One day, when out inspecting a forest after lightning had caused a fire, a villager came upon a curious black ore none had seen before. Testing revealed that the ore possessed a singular property. It could store lightning and convert it to other energies. In that instant, the scourge of endless storms became a blessing. Dubbed electrope, the ore found use in myriad inventions and dramatically improved people's lives. So much so, in fact, that all nations soon became dependent upon it, despite the difficulty of obtaining it in quantity. Supply was chronically scarce, and when nations couldn't meet their needs with their own deposits, some resorted to taking electrope from others. Fighting was isolated and sporadic, until electrope came to be used in warfare. First in the weaponry of invaders, then in the countermeasures of defenders, and then in every aspect of combat where an advantage might be had. This served only to exacerbate the ore shortage, leading to further escalation. Before long, the entire world was engulfed in a terrible war known as the Storm Surge. As the war came to a head, Alexandria's neighbor Lindblum committed its stores of electrope to the production of a weapon of mass destruction. They deployed it on the front lines and triggered a calamity of frightful magnitude. Not even their own scientists had anticipated the force of the lightning that was unleashed. The energy inundated the entire continent, laying it to waste.
So that's how your world came to be this way.
Sounds an awful lot like an umbral calamity.
You truly know a great many things that I don't. I should like to learn about you too sometime. But to continue the tale, the people of Alexandria had already lost much to the war. They lost almost everything else to the Levin. Those who survived bore deep scars, tormented by the memory of loved ones taken too soon. Though they yet lived, the cruel spectre of death was with them always. Seeking a solution, our scientists turned once more to Electrope, and after extensive research, they developed the means to preserve memory and soul. Physical death isn't the end. So long as our memories endure, we may live on. This belief sustained us then, and it sustains us now, granting us comfort.
That's quite a tale.
Your Majesty, help me! I beg you, help me!
What's the matter?
I've got no souls left. Not a single one! But the lot at Soul Supply refused to give me any! Please, you must do something!
My apologies, Your Majesty. This man, he does no work. Instead, he drinks his days away on Trueview. He has only himself to blame if he has no credits for souls.
That's not true! I'm a fighter at the Arcadian. Or rather, I was. I haven't been allowed to fight because of the King's decree. It isn't my choice.
I see. You're a brave warrior of the arena. I want to help you, I sincerely do. But I cannot give you preferential treatment.
Then open up the Arcadian again, so I can fight!
I'm sorry, but that's not my decision to make. The king requires feral souls for war. He doesn't wish for them to be expended on amusements.
You're useless! A queen in naught but name!
Insolent wretch! How dare you take that tone with Her Majesty?
It's quite all right. Such things don't bother me, nor do I think ill of this man. Hear me. Though I cannot grant you a soul, I mean it when I say I want you to live. I love all of you equally, dearly. You are as family to me, and it pains me to see you deny yourself hope. I want you to find a happiness all your own, even if you must grow it from the smallest seed of joy. Out there, somewhere, is a reason for you to smile again. We all need to vent our frustrations from time to time. I will always be willing to lend an ear.
Yes, Mum. Of course. Even without a spare soul, I suppose I'm fine as long as I stay in Solution 9. I apologize for my rudeness. Good day to you.
Keep your chin up, my friend, And when you feel better, I'm sure you'll find another way to apply your talents.
She reminds me of Mother Moon.
I'm sorry you had to see that. Let's keep moving, shall we? Right, I believe we've visited all the main facilities. With that, I declare our tour concluded.
That man from before, does that sort of thing happen often?
Somewhat. It's unavoidable. Hardships are a fact of life. Our soul management system has sustained our realm for generations, but it isn't without flaws. For one, people have become accustomed to having spare souls. Without them, they feel vulnerable and anxious. Some claim it may also have contributed to a decline in births.
Just thinking out loud, but would it be possible to do away with the system?
No.
I know it isn't easy to change one's beliefs and way of life. The Mamulja had their reasons for their reliance on blessed siblings, much as you have yours for souls. But if we defeated Zorolja, you'd be able to make all the decisions, right? Then we could work together to fix things, restore your realm to where it belongs, and see where we can go from there.
Listen to me. There's something that I need to tell you.
Your machine?
What is it?
Actually, never mind. It's nothing of import. Well, it was lovely showing you around.
Of course. Of course. Thanks so much for the tour. We've learned not only about your realm, but you as well. For now, our priority is Zorolja.
You are the system, aren't you?
But once we've dealt with him, perhaps I can return the favor and show you to Lihiolal.
I'd like that very much. It seems I've no choice but to continue down this path. Forgive me, Vau Wuklamat, but I must disappoint you.
What was Sveen wanted to tell us, I wonder? Well, we can wait for another time. We've been exploring for a while now, and should probably go to Kafkia's meeting point. That'll be back the way we came, I think. Oh, this is a pleasure indeed. Care for a little chat, stranger? Me, I'm a simple mother and housekeeper here in the city. Well, since my children were awarded government positions and promptly flew the nest, there's not a whole lot of mothering left to do. Since I retired, I seem to have altogether too much time on my hands, so I while away the days chatting with passers-by such as yourself. This place is known as Solution 9, an impressively large feat of engineering. When compared to Everkeep's 11 other levels, the city is home to all sorts of facilities: civic administrative service, bustling markets, countless shops and retailers, the list goes on. Apparently there's even a sector where you can find less than official goods. Either way, for we citizens there's maybe a problem that lacks a solution, hence the name. The cleaners do a marvellous job of keeping the streets tidy, and all our needs are met. Solution 9 really is a spectacular place to live. Perhaps you consider making the city your home too. Sabine genuinely cares for her people. I can respect her for that. And thanks to her tour, I've come to better understand the lives of Alexandrians. They don't feel so strange and distant anymore. Having seen the district to her satisfaction, Muklamat is ready to head to the meeting point. So, we're supposed to go to a place called True View in the eastern sector. This conveyor ought to take us there. You know, once you get used to it, they're actually kind of fun. Come on, Elita. This is the right place, you think? I don't see the others, though. Well, rather than sitting and waiting, we might as well explore a little bit more. Huh? Elita, look over there. A Mamulja child. What are they doing here? You noticed too, right, the resemblance to Zoralja? The blue scales of a Bunawa with the features of a Hubigo? This can't be a coincidence. At any rate, it wouldn't do to leave such a small child on their own. Come on, let's go after them. I'll be waiting shortly, I just need to touch some crystal. Wait, is it even we're supposed to meet? He's usually so punctual. Is the Arcadian ever going to reopen? I tell you, this man is such a warrior. Not with that war going on, that's for sure. Forget about him, we're here to have some fun. What shall I order? You'll never guess what turned up at the keep the other day. A little critter that goes squeal. Don't be daft. Welcome, if you're after wholesome beverages, you've come to the right place. So, then I says to him, unbelievable. We guarantee a 5-time return on your investment. Right. I'm not tipsy. The boss is always going on about checking customers' ages. Don't be offended if I look up your registration number when you're buying booze. If it's a soft drink you're after, use the vending machines next to the stall. I'll be back in a couple of seconds. Look, Matt, I need to talk to someone over here. You try that stuff they have at make on level 4. Cultivated steak? Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about it. That tome, that wouldn't happen to a sightseeing log, would it? Millith, now that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. And dearest Elizabeth. She's my twin sister, you see, and I haven't seen her in 30 long years. Not since I was trapped during my exploration of the Islandi. It brings me great joy to know she's well. Pardon me for asking, but might I see the notes she's added to your log? She always did make such bold strokes of her lettering. Here. I've added my own notes. Some of the information may seem unprofitable at best, but I believe there's some truth in every entry. Were I younger, I would set out in search of these fantastic sights myself, but alas, my body can no longer endure such travels. So thanks to you, I feel lighter than I have in an age. If there's one thing I would wish, it's to see my sister again before I die. There's so much I would share with her. But you have better things to attend to than an old woman's musings. Take care, kind adventurer, and may your journey lead you to vistas both bright and unforgettable. Whenever I lay eyes on a traveller like yourself, I think back to the days I roamed the lands a young lass. Such fond memories. What a view. Oh god, this time dilation thing is so sad. I think they ran this way. So, this is True View. I'm not sure what I'm looking at, but it does seem lively. That building's just about the only one not lit up. Not open for business at the moment, I guess. Wah! I didn't see you there. Listen, we don't mean you any harm. We just want to talk. It's a bit odd, don't you think? They run off when we approach, only to suddenly reappear. Could it be they want to take us somewhere? Is that the way of it? You want us to follow you? So it is. Alright then, lead the way. Let's see where they take us. Let's try not to lose sight of them this time. Is this where you wanted to bring us? What is this place? If you're meant to relax here, it isn't working for me. Hey, what's your name? So you're still not inclined to talk. He'll only talk if he's completely comfortable with you. You know him?